Season 2 of Warzone is right around the corner, and we've got the roadmap and patch notes. But let me tell you, while there's some exciting new weapons, perks, and quality of life changes on the horizon, Activision's recent decisions still raise some questions. Are they finally addressing the core issues, or is this another distraction? Let's dive in and break it down. First up, the roadmap gives us a mix of good and bad news. While new content is coming, like the 4 new weapons, some new perks, the Terminator event, the big story is Activision's focus on gameplay tuning, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements. This shift comes after months of player frustration. They even admitted that they're delaying some content to address foundational issues. As announced in the recent community update blog, we've made the decision to prioritize focus on gameplay tuning, adding more quality of life improvements, and addressing ongoing bugs. This means that in order to deliver meaningful improvements to our players, new content originally planned for Season 2 has been shifted to create bandwidth to address foundational issues. These improvements won't come all at once. Rather, they'll be staggered across the season, and with quite a few quality of life changes coming mid-season. Our priority is having the most solid foundation that Battle Royale can offer, and are excited for players to see it all live. Now, this sounds good in theory. Prioritizing the gameplay experience is long overdue, and the community has been clamoring for it. But here's the question. Will these changes be enough to rebuild the trust they've lost with the community? Or will the fact they're saying quite a few of these improvements will be mid-season with little to no content just continue to frustrate the player base and have us playing the buggy mess we have been for nearly 3 months? Time will tell, but I feel the leash is short with broken promises and the base shifting to games like Marvel Rivals. Let's talk perks, because these could shake up gameplay in interesting ways. The first is reactive armor. This perk regenerates your armor to 50% if you haven't taken damage in the last 5 seconds. It sounds cool on paper, but think about it. 5 seconds could feel like an eternity in a gunfight. I'd prefer plating instead of waiting for the perk to kick in. I guess it could be helpful while trying to reposition and reload, but it feels like it will be useless. The second is low profile, which increases your movement speed when crouched, prone, or even downed. Honestly, this one feels a little niche. Movement speed while downed? Unless you're playing Resurgence or Ranked, I don't see it being game-changing. But even then, is it worth swapping out something like Ghost, Quick Fix, or Resolute? I think I'd have preferred the new multiplayer perks myself to make it over to Warzone. I mean, come on, Slipstream? Increase sprint speed while eliminating the need to tack sprint? I think that would be super interesting. It would really depend on how much the increase to the base sprint speed is. Is it 95% of tack sprint, or is it right in the middle of base and tack? Hunter's Instinct would also be super interesting for gunfights when you are outnumbered. Getting a ping on the closest enemy after you eliminate someone would make for some amazing outplay potential, but both could be OP depending on how they would be implemented. On a positive note, it does seem they have listened to the community and have enhanced the weapon handling characteristics of dexterity, given them all as default perk, and removed it from slot 1. They replaced it with Mountaineer. They do note it is significantly improved from the negligible improvement that it gave to the fall distances as well as part of dexterity, but not as big of an effect as it was in MW3. I, for one, am excited to see how big that difference is for things like dropping from Control Center on Rebirth. Here's where things get interesting. The blog outlines some key gameplay changes meant to fine-tune the Warzone experience. Warzone Season 2 brings a wave of updates aimed at tuning gameplay, improving quality of life, and addressing persistent bugs. As mentioned earlier, with the changes to and addition of dexterity as a default perk, weapon reload and swap speed, jump mechanics, parachute transitions, and audio clarity have been fine-tuned to bring Battle Royale closer to our intended experience. This extends further with adjustments to default perks, equipment counts, and body shield behavior. These tweaks could make for a big difference, but the standout change for me is the ping and buyback players update. This is a huge quality of life improvement, especially for ranked play and competitive modes. However, they've also mentioned adjusting equipment counts like limiting the number of tacticals and lethals you can carry. This feels like a move to prevent abuse, but I wonder if it'll impact aggressive players who rely on those extra tools. Now onto the weapons, we're getting 4 new additions. The PPSH is back as a fan favorite SMG. It comes with a 32-round mag at base and will be available at launch via the Battle Pass, page 6, or page 14 for the blueprint. It has 35 levels. They describe it as a full auto submachine gun, fast fire rate with impressive damage and high recoil, moderate handling. Are we looking at another PPSH hipfire meta? The Cypher 091 is an AR at launch again via the Battle Pass, this time on page 8 or page 11 for the blueprint, with 42 levels. They describe it as a full auto assault rifle, slower rate of fire, balanced for great handling and excellent mobility. The Fang 82, an LMG with 48 levels at launch via the Battle Pass, on page 3 this time, or page 10 for its blueprint. Full auto light machine gun, very slow rate of fire with great damage and handling. But it's an LMG, and when was the last time we had an LMG meta? The Bren? And the TR2, a battle rifle coming as part of an unnamed in-game event. They do state at launch, so it should be available right away. Semi-auto marksman rifle, great rate of fire, and respectable handling. It does look reminiscent of the FAL, but we'll have to see how it looks in game. Great, you're adding new weapons, but here's my concern: weapon balance. Recent metas have felt lopsided and extending much too long, with broken guns dominating for weeks if not months. On a cautiously optimistic note, they did announce a nerf to the XM4 today, with reductions to damage ranges of about 5 meters, a slight reduction to leg multipliers to 0.88, down from no reduction previously, and an additional 15% ADS penalty on the 100-round mag. They also went after the buffer weight stock, with a 12 to 15% reduction in horizontal and vertical recoil and gun kick controls. But will it be enough with them only reducing damage on the longest range, just down to 22 from 24? Will Season 2 finally bring balanced gameplay, or are we looking at another broken gun stepping in for the XM4 and spending a month and a half with it as the undisputed meta? The Terminator event is back along with the Shadow Hunt, but let's be real, it feels more like a store promo than a proper event. We've seen this before with limited time cosmetics. This might be a chance to introduce more creative challenges, but if it's just another XP farm, it's going to feel stale real fast. For the rank grinders, there's new camos, charms, and a blueprint up for grabs. They do look okay, but I'll be honest, rank rewards need to be more unique to really stand out. And with the massive issues with hackers and constant shadow ban loops, I don't know that I care. So here's my big takeaway. Season 2 feels like a balancing act. Activision is promising improvements to the core gameplay, but at the cost of delaying new content. While the roadmap and patch notes show potential, we've heard promises like this before. I'll believe it when I see it. Are these perks enough to shake up gameplay, or just filler content? Do you even care anymore? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll be covering all the major updates as they go live, so hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, drop a like and share it with your squad. Keep the energy high, the vibes positive, and until next time, spread the love, fam. We'll catch you in the next one.